At this time, I would like to introduce Shane Olsen. Shane is a high school student at Waupaca. Shane's been a crucial member on our Bernie Sanders coalition here in Waupaca. He has taken the lead on registering high school students to vote, or at least providing the information for them, because in this state now, there are no designated registers anymore. So please help me welcome Shane Olsen up to the stage. He's going to give us a rally speech.
Is everyone feeling the burn? Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, brothers, sisters, and friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you here to beautiful Waupaca, Wisconsin, where today the revolution continues. Our revolution reaches near and far, from the darkest street corner to the brightest lamppost. It takes all sorts of people, the sort of people I see before me now. It takes people of all genders, colors, creeds, ethnicities, sexual orientations, and socioeconomic backgrounds. And it takes a presidential candidate whose message can bring so many different people together. That candidate is Senator Bernie Sanders. Let me tell you a little story about how I came to feel the burn. Before last summer, I hated everything about politics. I hated the divisiveness, the negativity, and the lack of positive change. The government shutdown in October of 2013 angered me further. I was sick and tired of politicians who were out of touch and not even doing their jobs. Even worse, I had no intention of ever making my voice heard. I wasn't eagerly awaiting my 18th birthday and my right to vote. It didn't seem to pay to vote because there weren't any politicians who would represent me. I was demoralized and defeated, and I'm sure many of you felt the same way. Last summer, things changed. I first learned about Bernie's campaign through social media. I was scrolling through Facebook last July, and I happened across this old Jewish guy with a thick Brooklyn accent that, for some reason, seemed to make a lot of sense, even for a politician. The more I learned about Bernie, the more I liked him. Before I even knew his policy positions, I admired him for his pragmatic nature, his apparent allergy to BS and small talk, and his intense determination to avoid negativity and run an issue-oriented campaign. Then I discovered that Bernie and I see eye to eye on almost every policy issue. Bernie understands that every American deserves a fair shot in this economy, regardless of where they start out. Bernie will make sure that everyone gets their opportunity by making the minimum wage a living wage and making public college and universities tuition-free. Bernie understands that regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation, everyone is a human being and deserves to be treated as such, both under the law and in society. Bernie has fought consistently to get money out of politics, so politicians will represent the interests of everyday people like us, and not wealthy corporations. He's both talked the talk and walked the walk on this issue, by refusing to raise money via super PAC, unlike other candidates. Bernie understands that we have only one planet, and we must move away from fossil fuels and shift to a renewable energy system in order to ensure a habitable environment for future generations. Bernie understands that everyone should have access to health care, regardless of their employment status. Bernie understands that it is an atrocity that many Americans don't go to the doctor when they're sick and don't buy the medicine that can ease their suffering because they simply cannot afford it. Bernie understands that it is a severe injustice when young Americans are incarcerated for minor drug offenses, while the crooks on Wall Street that wrecked our economy get off with paying a fine. Bernie understands it is not the job of the United States or any other country to be the policeman of the world, and he understands that war is the absolute last resort to solve international conflict. Bernie understands the sacrifices that our brave men and women in the armed forces make, and he believes it is our duty to take care of them when they return from the horrors of war. Bernie has been consistent in his beliefs his entire political career. He hasn't flip-flopped on issues, supporting a cause just when it was convenient to do so. He has consistently fought for causes that might not have been very popular at the time. And we're pretty lucky that he is running, because right now, we are the unpopular cause. There is not another candidate who is willing to fight every day for the poor, the persecuted, and the downtrodden. The others won't represent the single mom, the factory worker, the teacher, the small business owner, the immigrant, or the debt-laden college student. Bernie Sanders is a once-in-a-lifetime candidate for a once-in-a-lifetime movement. Yeah! Our movement. Like Bernie says, it will take a political revolution to transform this country into a nation where liberty and justice really are for all. We all know that it is and will continue to be an uphill battle. It will not be easy, and we should not expect it to be. Was the American Revolution easy? No. Did the Civil Rights Movement happen overnight? No. Revolutions take passionate people, people who are strong enough to stand up and say that the status quo just isn't going to work anymore. And I am glad to say that we have an abundance of passionate people here today. However, the people need an even more passionate leader, one who truly cares about those he represents. Bernie Sanders is that leader. So again, I ask you the question, are you feeling the burn? I said, are you feeling the burn? Well, then that's for Waupaca.